Hello everyone. Uh, Today I'm gonna try to replace the fork seals. So previously in my previous video you've seen me taking everything apart. So finally I got the spare parts that I needed. So these are the rubber seals that I needed, and this one was good, but I had to replace the other one because this one had a little bit of rust on it, so I'm not going to use that, so I ordered a new part. The other one seems fine. And then what else we've got the new copper washers for the banjo bolts that gonna go in the bottom there, and then I'm gonna heat these up in a second and let it cool. We also got these for the measuring the oil, and you can measure the air gap in the fork with this one as well. And what else? So we've got the fork oil here, so that's 1 liter. We need about 475 mils in each fork. Hopefully I won't spill any. And then obviously I got this, which will help to put back everything together, and then hopefully we can put the forks back and take it for a test run today. So I'm gonna start with this. So apparently these copper washers need heating up till they start glowing, and then you put it down, let it cool down, and that's better for the copper. Be careful not to pinch it too hard. So we're just gonna wait till it goes red hot. So almost there. You can see it glowing now. So that's one of them. So I think that's pretty good. So I'm just gonna drop it there for now, and then I'm gonna do the second one. So there is the second one. So that's our first step. So I will let that warm up as well, drop it down, let it cool down, and then we can take it outside and put it on the banjo bolt. Okay, so I've got one on, put the second one on. That's the old one, so we don't need these, so that's all rubbish. Okay, next thing I'm gonna do, we've got some red rubber grease and a piece of plastic. So we're gonna put this red rubber grease on it, on both sides. Then we're gonna wrap it up here, make a cone, and we're gonna slide our rubber seals on it. So I will put the camera down in a second. Hopefully I can get an angle where you guys can see, and then we're just gonna slide it on first. First is gonna, the dust cover is gonna go on first. So the reason why we do this is that we don't damage the inside of it, and that's gonna help us. Okay, this is a trick I seen on YouTube from a guy that I watched a video how to do this whole fork seal change. That's the red rubber grease, and then So there we have it. Okay. I'm not sure how well can you see it, but we're gonna wrap this around like this, and we are trying to make a cone on the top. That's the idea, at least. So it's more narrow on the top, and then we'll slide this on top. Yeah, I've got the feeling I'm gonna make a big mess here. It's okay, we'll wipe it off after that. So there we go. So that's one. This is the dust seal, so that goes on first. Okay, we can slide this all the way down to the bottom to start off. Okay, and then we need the oil seal, and the same process again. There we go, and very easy to slide it on this way. And this one can go down to the bottom as well. Okay, and then we're gonna do the same, so on the other fork as well. There we go. I'm gonna wipe this off in a second, all this excess red rubber grease, because we don't want that getting inside the fork. So we got this. Put this over, make a cone on the top. There we go. So first the dust seal again goes on very nicely, very easily. Slide it all the way down to the bottom. Okay, and then the oil seal. There we have it. So this one we no longer need, so this can go to the rubbish. And then we're just gonna give it a quick wipe in a second. Let's see if I got a clean finger to stop this video. So you need to wipe the excess grease off as much as we can. Make sure nothing goes inside. I need to change the camera angle in a second because it's not the nicest brightness. That's better. Okay. Okay, so you see that metal ring, so that's the correct way around, and same inside of this there is a metal ring, not even a ring, well it is, but it's like it's elastic, so yeah, so that needs to be upwards. So you see that metal part needs to be on this side, the same inside of this. So the next part is going to be tricky, because when I took this apart it was a bit difficult. So these bolts are going to go inside the damping rod. So for that I need to put back everything together, and then I need to put these back in as well, and I need to compress the whole thing together. I'm lacking a few tools, so I'm improvising with this ratchet strap, and I'm gonna use that to compress it, and once it's compressed then these bolts can go in the bottom. So I'm just gonna try to set a new camera angle and hopefully you can see what I'm doing. Of course I've got oil leaking out, it's always leaking. So what we need is put these back on. Okay, and then slide this back inside. Okay, so we're just gonna do one at a time. So that's slid back inside. Let me grab this also. So we got that one inside, this ring. Now we need to get this seal inside. So I seen a little trick on YouTube. Basically you wrap around it's not sellotape, a tape around it. I don't know what's it called in English suddenly, and then we need to whack this inside, and then on top of that we're gonna put this clip on, and that should lock it in, and then we're gonna compress it. I think I'm mixing up things. I'm saying the wrong things constantly, but yeah, I just figure it out as I go along, so bear with me. Okay, so you want to push that inside, but for that you usually need a special tool, and I don't have that special tool, so I'm gonna clean this. And again, another trick I've seen on YouTube. So this is the tape I was talking about, electrical tape, there we go, I remember now. So we're gonna put this on like so, and we need to wrap it around many times. Well, quite a few times. We want to make this thicker. Okay, so this is what it looks like. So the idea is to use this to whack this rubber ring into place. So I'm gonna slide it in, oops, slide it in halfway. As much as I can, and then it needs to clip in the inside, so I might make this a little bit thicker. Yeah, maybe a few more times around, and then I'll give it a try. Okay. I'm not sure if that's done, but that's the way, that's one way you can do it. Okay, I think that's as deep as it will go. I've whacked it quite a few more times, and now it's time to put this on top. So I need to put down the phone because I don't want to scratch this. So that's locked in with that. Okay, and now it's time to remove this tape and do the same on the other fork. Well, I just realized I made a mistake. So I was watching the video where someone else is doing the same change. Now you see that metal ring around it for the dust seal. That's going to be facing inwards. That's fine. But so I believe that's going inside. Let me just double check. Not even sure now anymore. No, actually maybe that's going to be, yeah, I think I put it on the wrong way around. So both of them. So you see this, I don't know if, yeah, there we go. That little metal ring that's inside. Now that needs to be facing downwards. So that metal ring needs to go on like this. And I done it completely the other way around. So going back, changing it over. Good thing I realize now, not when I put everything back together and then I realize it's leaking. So that's what happens when you got no clue what you're doing. But as I said, we're figuring it out as we go along. So bear with me again. So yeah, definitely the metal rings on both seals need to be facing downwards, because the way I had it on was this way, it wouldn't even fit. So if we change it around, you can actually see it. That's the right way around. That's how it's gonna clip in. Yeah. So I need to take everything apart again and do it properly. Okay, so going back for the same trick as before. So we're gonna use the red rubber seal. Obviously taken off the seals. Give it a little wipe. I inspected the other ones and they are in good condition. So I'm just gonna clean this as well because I've got all the red rubber seals inside. You see these these are the ones that are on the new seals, these rings, and they need to be facing this way. Yeah, so let's do that again. It's really annoying what happened, that I put it the wrong way around, but it's better that I realize now instead of realizing it once everything's put back together and I've got the oil in and then it starts leaking, and then probably I would have started crying. Not that I cry often, but hey, that would have been one case. So I'm gonna use this again, same method as before. So just gonna show you quickly. It's a little bit messy, but that's the way to do it. Okay, so this metal ring facing downwards, that's the bottom, and you just slide it on. All the way to the bottom, and then the next one. Make sure I put it on the right way this time. Okay, slide it down. Gonna do the same with the other fork, and then I'm gonna clean these again. So this way around. Okay. Slide it down and give it a good clean. Okay, let's try this again. So we got this. Okay. And now we're gonna use the sellotape trick again, and we're gonna wrap it around here and then whack it in. still not good. So I did a quick reading on the internet, and it says install the oil seal with the lip facing upwards and the dust seal with the lip facing downwards. So that's the downward, so that's the dust seal. Yeah, so dust seal, that's gonna have that part facing downwards, and this we need to swap it back again as it was originally. So that metal part, that metal ring, needs to be facing upwards. So I'm guessing that that's what they mean by lip, because this way it's not sticking anywhere, it's not staying in. I don't want to whack it any harder than I already did, but that's the wrong way around, definitely. Now I know, because previously when I put it in, it was a struggle to take it out again without damaging it, and now this way around it won't even clip in. So it makes sense for that groove to sit the other way around, so upwards. So we'll swap it again. Okay, so now I swap them around. So that's the way that ring, that metal ring inside, needs to be facing this way, sliding into that. Okay, so I swapped both sides, and now it's time to whack it again. So now that is definitely staying in, so pretty happy with that. And I'm gonna do the same on the other seal. So this again took me a bit longer than I wanted. Yeah, we'll do the same on that one, so I'm not gonna show that because it's just, this video is just getting longer and longer, and this should have been all that I've done so far. It should have taken, what, 10 minutes. So we are at 26 minutes already, but here we are. We have it. Okay.
mentem el.
Okay, so we got everything in their place. So next thing is the banjo bolt to go in the bottom. We've got the copper washer on it, so we're just gonna insert this here. Oh yeah, just a second. This won't go in. I need to loosen these a little bit. So the damping rod is spinning around the inside. So what I can do is I need to compress it. So I don't think it's gonna be enough if I compress it like this, because I think it's still gonna spin around, but we give it a try. Actually not too bad, so I might be able to tighten it up properly. I just need a spanner. So I'm just pushing this down to create tension in the damping rod inside, so that I can tighten this up without the damping rod spinning around. Yeah, that's pretty tight. So we've got that inside. Now on to the next one. So again, we quickly double check. Seals are all good, and then turn it upside down, push it all the way down. We got the new copper washer on the bottom there, so we're just gonna drop it in here and push it down. I'm using my whole body weight on it. Okay, so that's getting tighter. So yeah, that's pretty tight. So next thing I'm gonna do is undo this top section. At the moment is only hand tight. And now comes the tricky part, because I'm not sure how much oil it needs, so I'm gonna do a little reading again. As far as I remember, it's 475 mils. So for that I'm gonna use the big syringe. I don't know if I can fit this in anyway. Ideally this should be removed, but you need a special tool for that, and I don't have that. So what I'm gonna do is just put 475 ml of oil in it, measuring it with this 60 ml syringe, and then see how that works out. Okay, so what we're gonna do is start putting the fork oil in. So 484 mils what we're gonna put in. It was a bit difficult to find online the exact amount, but that seems to be the average, so we're gonna use this. Okay, so that's 50 mils. And we're gonna start putting in. So you need to remember, we're gonna put 400 mils in first. This is the first 50. Okay. So we're just gonna keep on doing this till we reach 484. So I'm just gonna stop the video here for a second, otherwise it's gonna be too long. So we put 483 mils roughly, but we're gonna do the same, so the same measurement. So what I'm gonna do before I close it, I'm just gonna compress the rubber, the spring down a few times to get any air bubbles. It might not be enough. So I don't know if that's enough or not, but that's as much as I can do. So I'm just gonna hand tie this, and then I'm gonna use a socket and tighten it up properly. And I'm not sure if this is done right, because it seems like this gap is too small here, and I've got the feeling I'm doing something wrong, but it might be the adjustments, the preload on top that needs adjusting afterwards, but yeah, I'm not sure. So if I don't do this job properly, then I need to take it to a real mechanic who's gonna do it for me, and I don't want to do that unless I have to. So So it's not completely tight. Once I put it back on the fork and I've got something holding it, that's when I can tighten it up properly all the way. But it's not bad at the moment. It might not need much, but that's what I'm gonna do. So I'm just gonna do it. Yeah, you can let go. So I'm just doing a little testing on it. See how well it feels. It feels pretty good. Yeah, it's not too bad. And then I think I need to adjust these on top eventually, but I'm not gonna touch them. First I'm gonna do the other fork, and after that I'm gonna do it. So same procedure here again. I'm just gonna undo this. It's hand tight at the moment. There we go. So if you hold it for me, please. And then we're gonna do the same procedure. Okay. That's 50 mils. That's gonna be 100. Okay, so that's 100. And that's gonna be 150. Okay, so the same amount of oil in here, 483 fork, roughly the same amount I measured, exactly the same, because you can see the numbers. So the 480, and then it was just a little bit over, so I'm gonna pump it a few times carefully. I know it's not ideal, and then I'm gonna pull this up and pump it a bit more, and then we're just gonna tighten it up with hand first. Okay, so that's not properly tight. We'll do that on the bike just a little bit more, but first we need to put it back on, so I'm just gonna pump it. Okay, and what I'm gonna do is hold both of them, put the lid back on here. Little bit left, not a lot. So what I want to see, if I put both of them down here, see if they, I know it's not perfect measurement, but I just want to see if they both feel the same. So yeah, they pretty much feel the same. Yeah. So if you hold this for a second, so I'm just gonna double check that there is nothing around the seals, nothing leaking. And the same with this one. And then that's that part done. So now I need to slide these back in their place, but I also need to put the tires back in so that I can align them up properly. So this is how it looks like at the moment. So they need to go back in there. So a little bit more work to be done, but we are getting closer to the end, so I didn't need to use that after all. If you've seen my previous video, you know why I used it. But yeah, so I'm gonna get the tire ready, get the wheel back in to its place, and yeah, we go from there. Okay, so just gonna slide it back in here. Why it's sticking. Just going to remove these bolts. There we go. So what I'm going to do first, I'm going to tighten these just roughly. So only doing it tight enough. So now if you come closer, so now if this is holding it tight, okay, then it shouldn't spin around. And now I can come here and make sure this is tight. So shouldn't be crazy tight, but see, I can tighten it up now. So that's about right. So I'm gonna do the same on the other side. Pause. I got the second fork in, so I'm just gonna tighten these nuts up just enough so that it holds it in place, and then again on the top I want to tighten this up, so nothing crazy, but that should do it. Okay, so that side is done. So these are done. So what I need to do, I'm gonna loosen these up again, and I'm gonna put the tire in, align it up. Just make sure the whole fork doesn't drop out. You only need enough looseness so you can adjust this part. Actually, oh no, actually I can tighten these up because this bottom part still twists around even if this is locked in. So what I need to do now then, you see the gap here, this side is pretty much level, and on the other side this black rubber, black part, it's not rubber, the black metal part is, yeah, if you show it from the side, yeah, so this needs to be the same level as on the other side. So this is pretty much flat, and this one needs to drop down a little lower. So for that I loosen these. Okay. And then I make sure it's set at the right height. That is pretty much the same as on the other side. That's too much. Just a little fiddle around here. I'm just leveling these two up. So that's all I'm doing. So this gap needs to be the same as on the other side. So it looks like it's pretty much the same. These two need to be equal. And that is it. So I can tighten these. On the bottom first. Okay, so I'm gonna double check on these in a second, and then the ones on the top here. There we go. So that's how you do it. So I'm gonna do the same on the other side and come back to those and make sure they are proper tight. I really should do it, and I suggest if you do this, you should do it with a torque wrench. So I'm gonna get it done, gonna pop around to see someone who's got a torque wrench and gonna adjust it. I need to Google the settings first for that, because you definitely don't want it too loose, because then you can end up having a very nasty accident. And obviously you don't want to over tighten them, because then your forks not gonna work correctly, because this is only aluminium, so I'm guessing you could I guess it's aluminium, it feels like it. So yeah, that's it for now, for one step. Okay, so I got no proper way of measuring the gap, so what I did, I got 4 copper washer plates. They exactly line up with the top of this from that side, and then if I do the same on the other side, it's exactly the same. So that's gonna be our equal height, and now I can definitely tighten the screws up. Okay, so I've got the forks in, so we'll adjust those in a minute with the wheel going in. But before I do that, I removed this so that I had easy access to these boards. And what I did, I purposely didn't clean this so I can see where it was aligning up previously. But if you look very carefully, there is a little cross there, and I'm pretty sure that marks where this needs to go. So you see it exactly lines up with the old way as it was on. Okay, so if you're not sure and you don't have a dirt mark like mine, there's that little cross, and make sure that edge goes into that corner. So that's what I'm gonna do, and then it's held on by 4 screws, and this going on top. So I'm just gonna do that now. So we're gonna put this back on now. So I'm gonna take this out, and all we have to do is just push it through here. And you need to make sure the tire is facing the right way around. Okay. So I'm just doing it with hand first. Okay. And then I'm gonna use this size 17. If you come closer, you can see what I'm doing. So it pulls everything in place, and then these forks gonna align up as they should. This is going in. Yeah. So at the moment it's sliding all around, so I'm just gonna tighten this up, and then we're gonna start putting back the brake calipers. Okay. Of course I had to stop. It started raining. It's hopefully stopping any minute now, so hopefully it was just a quick shower. So I had to drag everything quickly in here, and then I'm waiting for the rain to stop to put the front wheel back in, and then the rest of the things I took off: brake pads and some other bits. Okay, so the wheel is back on, and now I'm just putting back the brake calipers, or whatever they called. So that's fairly easy. At least it stopped raining, so probably I will finish this tomorrow, because I just feel like my brain is not ticking the way as it should. So I don't want to make mistakes, I don't want to rush it. Yeah, I just do a few bits and bobs but probably I won't finish it today because it's getting late. And again, this has taken me a lot longer. Even putting back the tire, I put the forks on the wrong way around. You see this part? I had it turned all the way around to this side. And once I figured it out what I did wrong, then I could readjust. And then yeah, so we are getting there. Again, I said it, I know I said it in my previous videos. I say it way too often that we are getting there, so probably annoying for some of you. It's definitely getting annoying for me. So I'm gonna probably measure the gap between the fork and tire this side and this side. I want to make sure they are equal. I don't know, probably they are, but before I put these two screws back in here to lock this thing in the middle. So one step closer to the finish line.
Let's see if it starts up, so hopefully all done.
Fairing needs to go back underneath. Apart from that, hopefully that's all done. Thank you for watching the video. Take care, guys.